General Manager of Radisson Atria, Bengaluru. And Mr. Sankalp Gupta, he's the Executive Director of SATS. Then we have Sudhir Arora, he's a Vice President Excellence of Bikingo. And we have Manav Sharma, who's the Director of Ambrosia Hospitality. I'm moderating this panel, and I'm Tarandeep. I'm the Director of Happy Hotelier Club. So the topic of today, I think, is very fiery, because it's an in topic today. Collaborations and community building for hospitality industry. I think it's a very, very important topic which we feel we need to cherish and value going forward for our own growth. So coming on to the first aspect, because we know that, chat, connect, and conquer is the way to go. And how do you do that? So the base is communities. And I think this panel will really contribute powerfully on this aspect. So may I go to Mr. Girish Ganesan and request him to give his inputs on what are the benefits you think is there for community building and collaborations.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Various benefits are involved when you involve in a community and discussion like this. Number one, everybody comes from a very diverse backgrounds, and you share the values from where you come from, what sort of experience that you have got in your background that you have learned over a period of time, and how it is going to add value to everybody. And plus, from the industry side, you are going to share your inputs on all the different things that you experience, which is going to benefit each and every one. So there are plenty of opportunity of sharing values, information, and possible ideas with each other in such a community network. Thank you.
Thank you, Girish. Over to you, Sankalp.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everybody. I think the topic is collaboration and all, and after working or spending over 20 years in this industry, I have realized that the only wealth you earn in this industry is the networking. It's the relationship you build over time with different peers from the industry, outside industry. So relationship building is very important, because let's say if you are going out and trying to sell your product or a service, and if you have a connect with a peer in that organization and all, it becomes really easy, because the network you have created will give you the required growth. So it's very important to stay connected and build that relationship in the industry. So anybody coming to me selling a product, actually I will trust more on somebody who is known to me, who is a known person to me, rather than a traditional brochure, leaflet, or advertising coming to me. Word of mouth kind of marketing works more than a traditional way of marketing. So that's my belief.
Thank you. Over to you, Sudhir.
Yeah, so hi, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sudhir. I'm VP Business Excellence for Bikingo. Coming to the question, Taran, community building or networking, if I say, networking is important, obviously, in the business to grow and to everything. But I feel networking will give you insights when you talk to your peers or you talk to somebody, you have a problem, they will give you some best practices from their experience. They will give you ideas, what they have done already, or maybe they've done it and faced difficulties, or they'll tell you solutions to your problem, because problems are there, but solutions you just have to find talking to people. So that is what networking helps us. So community and networking, like the Happy Hospitality Club, they also help us meeting people, like-minded people, and we can always talk to them, find out ways to solve our problems, get better at different things. So I think that helps us like that.
Right. Yeah. Very rightly said, because you don't have to struggle alone. Because yes, anything you do, any small project, day to day even, apart from the bigger projects, there are a list of snags and there are a list of issues. So if you actually talk to the like-minded, it just steps up and helps you and supports you.
And
You know?
you get a lot of different solutions because people think of a problem in different aspects. So you will get a lot of different solutions to the same problem. And you can choose which suits you best.
Correct. You get a platter of
Yes.
experiences
Yes.
showcased, in a beautiful platter.
It
So
adds
yeah,
to your experience also.
right, right. Thank you. Over to you, Manav.
Hi, good afternoon. So, why network? Why collaborate? So, let me start by looking at what do we mean by network, and why network. So, first, what is network and why network? So, if you look at it in a way, your network is actually equal to your net worth. We are all here, let's be absolutely straight. We are all here in this event to increase our net worth somehow or the other. But it's not going to happen straight on. It is going to be a step-by-step process. And it always starts by networking. You first meet people. So you got to meet me. You got to like me. You are going to trust me. And then maybe you may do business with me. So that's what network is. The advantages, of course, is if you really examine, you will see that you have no idea, the person that you are meeting, what all connections he has, what is the kind of treasure that person is sitting on, right? Once you create a relationship, those opportunities and possibilities open up for both the people. And then you can extend it to your groups of people, etc. To sum it up, I think today we are here together because we got connected over a platform. I have known Sudhir for last 30 years. We've been together in the industry 30 years? 30. But we got profoundly and deeply connected when we joined a platform together. So that there was shared purpose, there was shared objectives, we could take this forward. I don't want to take too much time, but I think, these are my initial thoughts about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Every nugget shared by Girish and Sankalp and Sudhir and of course now Manav is very important because this also clears your concept of networking. Networking doesn't mean to have, a phone book with contact sphere. That is not networking. Networking is, as you mentioned, deeper relationships. That is very important. And then over and above, you need to nurture those relationships. It's not just keeping it in the phone book. You need to take steps on your own. Nobody's going to take your arm or you to that water, right? So you have to actually see what brings value in building it and then nurturing it. So there are 3 steps to it. And that is relationship. So I always say relationship is A level and a B level. So A level is a professional relationship, which I know that for my place of work, this particular thing can work, a relationship. Second relationship is by 2 AM friends, right? So I can call and they can just jump in and they can support me. So those relationships are nurtured. They need not be your blood relations. They can be anybody, right? It's just that you have to strike the right chord and work on it yourself and see the magic. So that is very, very important and you can really conquer the world with deeper relationships, right? Now, the main crux comes how to build it. What is a practical approach to build those relationships? Some things we've already touched indirectly, but let's delve into it and go step by step and check in your, mindset what you think, is the right way to build it with practicality, and how frequently we need to cultivate those relationships, right? Now, Girish, you've been, running a show in terms of a hotel and international chain Radisson Group. So what does it land to you when I said, let's talk on how to build it and come up with a practical step or approach to it?
Sure,
Yeah.
sure. When I'm saying that, I also want to say Sudhir and me know each other for the last 30 years. You know, we both worked together in Leela, Bombay, and where Mano was mentioning about the trust. It was just a call that I got a call from Sudhir few days back. Girish, I just want you to join this forum. Can you just come in? So as you, yeah, 25 years. Yeah, correct, correct.
Just
You know,
like going back to the school and saying, okay, starting
Yeah.
from there only, that we know each other. So that
Yes.
credibility is solid there.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
as he rightly put in, the network and the collaboration begins first with the trust. It's every stage of your life, you build trust between people. I have a person who's in the audience, Mr. Thomas, whom we know each other for the last 3 decades. Another person, So, we need to come across as great human beings, helpful with each other, support each other. Everybody is trying to make a living. That's the key factor. It all begins from that. So when we begin that thing, automatically a lot of things will fall back in helping each other, supporting each other, collaborating each other, that goodwill that comes across with people. Now, how do we do this practically? With the technology that has transformed over a period of time, your WhatsApp is one place where you can have connect with the people. LinkedIn is another platform which we use to post some of your this thing. Even though in today's world we say a lot of things should be covered with password and details, but now everything is transparent. You take Pinterest, all ideas are available. You take LinkedIn, all ideas are available. You take Facebook, all ideas are available. So we are sharing whatever things that we are doing on a regular basis with the people pertaining to any industry, not just hotel industry, any industry for that matter. So if we use these regular updates, regular follow-ups, using the tech to support us on a friendly basis, so that I'm sure this will further improve the networking and collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you. Over to you, Sankalp.
I think Girish very well said that yes, technology definitely plays a very important role today in or act as a platform where you can collaborate and increase your network. But event like World Hospitality Event, Gulf Food, Anuga, there are so many trade shows happening which is surrounded with this food manufacturing or hospitality industry. So I think that is also one of the major area where you can build your networks, you can meet people, you can see what new is happening, what innovation is happening in the industry. On personal level, I have actually attended these events and realized that, when you are not seeing what is happening outside, you're living in a silo and your personal growth never happens. Your mindset is limited. Attending such events, going to such platforms, participating or even visiting, meeting the peers or meeting new connects actually. This event also I see a lot of new brands coming up. I would really like to really connect with them and see what value they can add in my scope of work. So definitely this is one area which is a larger platform where you see people who has not spoken in 25 years sitting together on the same platform. So I think this is the power of such events, and these events actually should grow to much more bigger level in coming days, because as this industry is growing, I think the networking has to grow. And one thing is technology on LinkedIn or anything, you can only see what something is offering, but here you can actually have a look and feel and see the products and all. So this, I think, to me is a better platform to be in, where you really get a real time and real life perspective of things around you. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think there are 2, 3 things which I took out from what you said. Fear of missing out. So when you are actually attending the trade shows, and likewise, you want to be there because you don't want to have that fear of missing out, right? You might meet new people or new old people, you know, after a long time. Second thing is, I think the fact that, you know, 25, 30 years connections are sitting here has been purposely fabricated. So by default, you know, it's come out.
But it's a
Because
fact.
I think it's beautiful because physical meeting versus online platforms, I think it adds up. Emotional connects are very essential to build deeper relationships, right? That is why after COVID, we had to jump out and hug people, right? In hospitality, it cannot be without a touch of feel. You can't do a remote work in hospitality industry, right? But we had no choice that time. And we were struggling to come out and just hug each other. And the physical interface is so very important because we want to hear, we want to have that, you know, six senses connection. So that's very important. So I think we are reflecting exactly what our topic is all about, that here we see the connections of 30 years sitting. And I think thanks to World of Hospitality who's brought us together, and indirectly the fabrication of, you know, a very, I think, silken woven fabrication of Happy Hotelier Club, which has got everybody together under one roof so that we can curate things together going forward. So over to you, Sudhir, on this. What is your practical approach? How do you see it in terms of building networks?
I believe networking is staying genuine to the person. It's not a transaction that I can do this for you, what can you do for me? I can offer what I can do for you, but not in exchange of what you are offering. So it's not a transaction that I will ask. I will stay genuine and I will offer whatever I can do, but not in return of anything. So that is what my take is.
That's so beautiful. Givers gain. So that's very, very beautiful. How can I add value to you? And it is more of farming and connections, and it's not hunting. What's in for me should not be the statement. That is how you make deeper connections and benefit to each other, because it's a mutual thing. So, but then once you, your upfront approach is, what can I do for the other person? I think it just gets into a better format, right?
Like Girish was saying, no, staying trustworthy, staying positive, and
Yeah.
giving your best shot.
Right.
And don't expect anything. Obviously, when you need help, somebody will turn up and do that for you.
Correct, correct. Over to you, Manav.
So if I look at what you asked to start with, let's dwell deeper into how to connect, right? How to network. See, the advantage of asking a lazy person is that he will give you the simplest solution, right? So, and the simplest way is to join a platform, right? Most people think a lot about doing in life because they build complicated solutions. Most of them never ever materialize. So don't try to think whether this platform, that platform, catch hold of any platform, participate, take what you can get from there, give what you can give to them, grow, and if you've grown that platform, you can join another one. But start. So that's the first thing. And there are many industry-related platforms. You know, in the hospitality industry, we have multiple, chefs platforms, federations, etc. Different North chefs, South chefs, so on and so forth. We have hoteliers, etc. Housekeeping associations, general managers associations, technical, etc. House, so on and so forth. And this is where HHC wins, because we have a very unique platform, which I have been exposed to for the past 5 years, and you get to meet all kinds of people, and across the platform, across India. So, like I said, keep it simple. Just join a platform.
So, very rightly said that when you have a, platform where you are hooked to, and there is a format, a organized, structured format, then it becomes more often that you have the frequency of meeting like-minded people.
Yeah, I just wanted to add one thing. It's just joining the platform is not the end step. That is the first step. When you say network, you have to work on those relationships. You have to work inside that platform, contribute, be someone who actually makes a difference, builds relationships like Sudhir said. That is where, trust, builds and relationships foster.
Yeah, and most importantly, you are aligned with the purpose. So every platform has a purpose. So until unless you're not aligned to a purpose, you will not be able to contribute because you have to be enrolled in to contribute, right? You can only be passionate if you're enrolled into that concept or purpose. So that is very, very important. So if it is Happy Hotelier Club, it's a group of people, not just the general managers and vice presidents and decision makers and HODs, but also consultants, also the chefs who have done their decades of service. So it's a combination of minds coming together, and then their chances of collaborations much higher because everybody's learnings are really, really rich when you delve into them, right? So that is very, very important. Now, coming to the next piece is moving on to collaborations. For hospitality industry, when we say networking is one piece which we have discussed deeply and we've taken everybody's views, but collabs are so very important because even a five-star hotel who's an international support, organization, big one, may need vendors from outside or may need technology from outside. You cannot develop everything under one roof, right? And do backward integration for every smallest of the affair. Otherwise, these Ubers and Olas would never have been all over the world. Ubers, for example. The technology is theirs, but not the real vehicles. So collaboration is something very, very important, but you need to measure it right and weigh it right and then take, and build it. So what do you think, Girish, in terms of collaborations for hospitality industry, how importantly you see this aspect of collabs for hospitality industry and how you see it as a future? Because according to the statistics, collaborations is the only marketing which is going to be there for years now. Because you have to build communities, you have to have collaborations, and then, in your own areas, you are going to be having, I would say, 20% growth every year by year.
So that's a very good point that what you mentioned. In most, I would talk about generally what sort of collaboration is going on in a hospitality industry. Number one, collaboration they do is with farmers' products, fresh farm products from local organic farms or farm produce to support the farmers. Recently, millet year was announced by Government of India. So a lot of fresh produce of millets, different chefs came in, collaborated with the millet farm producers, associated with them, and then made different dishes and brought it to the market for people to see that. So that was one form of collaboration that what we did. Second form of collaboration to support art and literature, like the book launch, for example, for the painting and art galleries, where there's another form of collaboration where we encourage people from art schools, painting schools to do that kind of an exposure to them to bring that up. Even that brings in a lot of community in the different section to do that game. On a higher level, many cities have got wine society, single malt tasting society, wine appreciation class sessions, bar teaching skills. So in this case, a lot of vendors from the beverage industry, a lot of vendors from liquor industry, they also come and collaborate with a lot of guests to bring that up. Women chefs, which is important growing segment in Bangalore especially. A lot of women from different backgrounds, they come across and host their authentic cuisine from Jharkhand, from Coorg, from Kerala, from Chennai, and bring in those important recipes to do that. So these kind of different collaboration of different sections of the economy in the society is a great way to build community, great way to build the trust, great way to build the overall development, and it showcases to the younger generation who are looking upon. They are looking at how the industry is getting developed in terms of different attributes to it. Of late, sustainability is a big name where people want to save energy, save water, save the unused things, how we can reduce, reuse, and recycle. A lot of collaboration are going on in terms of e-waste with the vendors who can bring in those kind of things into the customer usage, including a hotel has got a lot of linen which goes waste. How do we buy those linen uniforms, cloth materials, reduce, reuse, and combine a different fabric altogether? Recently, there is a company called Buff Cigarettes of India, wherein the cigarette ashes are getting collected and converted into some other products. There's another company, it's an NGO driven by, we get collaboration with them in many hotels which they are doing it. So build the community, as Sudhir was mentioning about how do we build that trust as well as give back to the community so that they gain something out of this. And in that, the whole spectrum grows in that. Thank you.
So I think hospitality industry is a beautiful industry which is more like a industry in itself. Within a hotel, it is an industry because you have every sort of departments and you count it on your hand. You actually, if you break it, you can't really count it because there must be around 30, 40 departments within. And fabricating a beautiful story on sustainability, I think a collaboration with any NGO, it really works because if they can bring value on the table. Something of this sort I saw in Maldives in Suneva Fushi, Sonu Shivdesani's resort when I went on a recce. And all these cans, the tin cans, the Coke and the beer cans, the way they were melting it down, and even the broken glasses. So they had a complete factory there. They had a furnace there, and there was a German couple who was working on that. They had collaborated with somebody in Germany to set up that workplace, and all the broken glasses were put in the furnace. The color was added. The whole process was there for the guests, and masterpieces were created out of it. And they had a studio just outside the furnace area, and it was beautiful because they were exporting out of that. The broken pieces were changed into masterpieces. So beautiful vases, beautiful, looking masterpieces, and they were that was another revenue stream for them. And they were exporting it to different areas of the world. So that was a mind-blowing thing.
I'll add one more point. We have a professor from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. He is making straws, he's making stir sticks, he's making cocktail sticks out of coconut leaves. Nobody has done that. Not all these are 100% approved by FSSAI, and it is there in the market. And that is something, a huge collaboration that, no plastic. Everything is on natural fiber. It's not bamboo, but it's all coconut leaves, which is again very regional based, but it is useful for people with a better packaging and better usage across. So it really helps in a big way, as what you mentioned about.
Absolutely, and they become huge revenue streams for hospitality industry. So collaborations and partnerships really take your business to the next level because you're adding to the streams, within the streams, in a way, right? Sankalp?
Taran, very well said actually. Collaboration is the way to go. If you want to be success in your business, the mantra is stick to your core. When I say stick to your core, and you also touched upon that Olas and Ubers have gone to another level. They are basically tech companies. They are not auto companies. So collaboration is very important, and I can quote some examples, biggest being Make in India. This initiative is purely built on collaboration, basically at G2G level. So it's not just in the private sector, it is happening at G2G level, that you are sticking to your core and basically collaborating with somebody else who has the other expertise. And both married together, you get a wonderful product out of it. I'm from SATS Food Solutions. I can give few examples of where collaboration has worked for the company. Swiggy, Zomato, we all know that these are the food giants today. We are into frozen food manufacturing, and Swiggy approached us that how can you help us in cracking this model. We had a manufacturing facility, they had a platform, they had all the insights of the market, what sells, where it sells, region by wise, area wise. So I think that is a very classic example of collaboration where they stick to the core of the tech and we stick to the core of the manufacturing, and both married together, we could actually scale it up to another level. There are few examples around me which I would, real examples, like for example, Starbucks is known to everybody. Starbucks, India as a country actually allowed 100% FDI. They could have entered in the market on their own, but they chose to collaborate with a big giant like Tata and then basically thrive the business and grow the business. That is the way to go. And I think all big companies who are now growing actually have understood the power of collaboration. So it's not like that only the big players can do that. In hospitality industry, in food industry, such a growth is happening, and I think the food industry is being changed by non-food guys. So the biggest change brought in the food industry is by the people who has nothing to do with food. And we sitting, being experts of food, have not been able to scale it up to that level. So now as more and more new talent, new blood going in or coming in, entering in this segment, the industry is changing, and I think it's now the new era which is now starting, and will be a game changer for the country. Like in the previous panel discussion, Swiggy Zomato topic came in, and they said who thought that these business will be like listed in the stock exchange, which itself is proven fact that how collaboration can change the game. A small time restaurant who didn't had the visibility beyond a kilometer radius now has a visibility up to 8 kilometers, 10 kilometers. Or if you go by the intra-city models or intercity models, you can actually get the food from Delhi in Bangalore. So this is the power of collaboration.
Very rightly said, Sankalp, and I pick one point from there and what even Ganesan said, that non-food guys are taking it forward.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So the thing is that that is so true. Thank you. You know why? Because we are hospitality people are very passionate and we are emotional. You know, so scaling is not in our blood. So we need non-food guys to come in and support us. You know, because we don't know how to roll out businesses except the increasing of the ARRs and maybe P&L where we are restricted to. But then in terms of the individual spaces, I think non-tech guys or non-food guys per se, non-hospitality guys, come in and fill that gap. Because we
absolutely.
are very passionate, of course, in our work, but we are also very emotional. You know, when a chef starts working on a dish, he keeps getting into and into and into till you have to remove him out of that space. You know, because he wants to beautify it to the level, and there's no perfection parameters, because perfection is a thing that which has no boundary, right?
True, very true.
Yeah. So here collaborations really hit hard and help positively. Over to you, Sudhir.
So, yeah, non-food guys building, scaling the business, and obviously we are very passionate and emotional too. Yes, I agree. So, but Taran, when you were saying adding to cost, adding to sales revenue and new streams, so there is also a cost aspect to it. So when we collaborate, we reduce our cost. Joint marketing, maybe do a joint marketing campaign with somebody, you reduce your cost. You do a cross branding, you reduce your cost. You do, for example, in our company, if we are distributing to about 180 centers on a daily basis, if we come across some people who have similar routes to deliver their products, we can collaborate. We have our specific vehicles, we can collaborate. So it will reduce cost for us. So it's a very good cost reducing mechanism as well. Not only cost revenue generating, but cost reducing.
And I think the know-how, you know, somebody is an expert in their area, that know-how and intelligence comes in, and the learnings come in. So it becomes a very, very good, speedy format, right, in terms of your goal setting.
and you can scale up very fast. You
yeah,
don't need
absolutely.
non-food people.
Absolutely.
You
That
don't need
supports it.
non-food people that way.
Yeah. Over to you, Manav.
So why collaborate? We've all looked at why collaborate. Uh, you know, the most respected industrialist of our times, Mr. Ratan Tata said, if you want to walk fast, walk alone. But if you want to walk far, walk together. I think that sums up why and how people can collaborate. As an industrialist, you know, we know Tata's, they've collaborated with the government of India for the airlines and now again back and so on and so forth, right? And that's the beauty of it. You know, you can really walk far. Alone, you can only do that much. You know, together, sky's the limit.
Correct. So basically, I think every product needs freshness now and then, right? You can't be behaving like erstwhile Delhi-based chain like Nirula's, saying that nothing will affect us even if McDonald's stepped in. And I was a part of that team reporting into the Nirula's with the Copcom section which was under me. So that was a very, a statement which really took them to a point where now they are rebuilding it. But not through the direct owners, but indirect owners. So I've seen that venture capital happening and all that. Because someone there felt nothing can shake them up. But the freshness of McDonald's, Vikram Bakshi, then setting up in North India, came up with fresh look, fresh audience, fresh products list, you know, and the restaurants were vibrant. So you need to innovate, you need to be above the competition and get alarmed when the competition is setting up before they even get in. So you have to be, you know, guarding yourself. That is very, very important. So I think innovations and staying ahead of competition is also a key to be collaborated somewhere and be a part of networks so that you know more and more people. Because there's, I think in this exhibition also, we must be knowing so many products which we haven't seen. There must be so much of innovation around. Yeah, so it's so important to be there in such shows, at the same time be a part of the networks, and above all, nurture those relationships which we have so that we go meet them and understand what their learnings have been and, you know, improvise in our systems what we can to take our product to the next level. So I think for this session, we have really shared good nuggets. Any queries from the audience, we would welcome to take it up. Any questions you have from the panelists, we would welcome to take it up. No questions, that means everything has been sorted and beautifully put forth. So I think I will just sum up this entire thing by saying that the richest people in this earth today and over years have been building networks. And others have been only trained to do a job in an organization, right? So the richest people, quote unquote, richest can be a different connotation, but I am rich because I can reach out and I can help my own brand to get built. You know, I'm rich that way, right? So it's not always to have very, very deep pockets, but it needs to have quality people around you who can support you and help you grow. That is very, very important. So that is how things are shaping up, and this is the way forward and the message to the room here, right? So thank you so much for giving your valuable time. And the next, of course, the agenda is, we'll be taking you through what Happy Hotelier Club is all about and launching it, and you know, giving that value to Sankalp and Girish to be a part of the community, and launching it in Bengaluru today with you guys. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, panelists, for sharing a valuable time with us. We would like to request Mr. Pratik from my team. We would like to give you all a small memento from our side. Yeah, Pratik. Mr. Manav Sharma. Before that, let's have a huge round of applause for this team, for their insights on collaboration and community building. Actually, I wanted to add a point. Was earlier with, I visited the Maldives property of Soneva Fushi, and there was a very interesting thing I saw there. Nothing to do with collaboration, more with community building. So they had the tea lights. The used tea lights, they had put it into a jar, and they were collecting it. So I asked them, like, what are you going to use this for? So they said they're going to use it for making prosthetics for amputees. So I found that was such an interesting thing, right? And I was like, hats off to them. So they do that every year. They collect it throughout the year, and they give it to a facility that uses that metal from those tea lights for prosthetics, for amputees. So I think that was a very good this thing, which maybe some hotels can pick it up from here, right? So we have, Mr. Manav Sharma. Thank you, Mr. Sharma, for being here with us. Mr. Sudhir Arora. Sudhir Arora. Mr. Sudhir Arora. Mr. Sankalp Gupta. Mr. Sankalp Gupta. Mr. Girish Ganeshan. I think Mr. Ganeshan was here last year also with us, right? Thank you, sir, for coming again. So he was on a different panel, I think, for a GMC, yes. And Ms. Tarandeep. Thank you, ma'am, for moderating the session. Being a moderator myself, I know how much time and effort goes into that. Thank you very much. Yeah, can we have a group photograph with your the mementos? We would like you to, if you can stand outside the table. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, gentlemen. We have another power-packed session coming up at 2:30.